the top. Oh yeah. Talking wrestling, it's a wild ride. From suplexes to body slams, we got it all inside. Get ready for the excitement, the drama show. Talking wrestling is ready to throw down. Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave. My name is Justin Davis, and as always, I'm joined by the man that this show is named after, Mr. Pondwater Dave himself. What's up, Dave?
Hey, Justin, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. We're missing Amy. We assume she will be here. She could have been kidnapped by pirates. We're not sure, but we think she'll show up eventually.
She could be watching the Olympic pole vault event on repeat.
Oh, I know that I never have to worry about that happening to me. I don't think.
Hey,
I think I would have cleared that pole easily.
yeah, I know. Did that guy really lose though? That's what I want to know. I mean, does he really? Is he really a loser? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think that he gained a lot of fans that day.
I'm just like,
sure.
Slow clap, dude. Just a slow clap for him. You don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about. There she is.
Sorry,
Hello,
I
Amy.
She is.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, pretty good.
Good.
We were just talking about Anthony Ammirati. He's the French,
Everyone's favorite pole vaulter.
He's the French pole vaulter that.
See, even Amy knows.
I know
Especially
why you're
Amy.
talking about him.
I mean, it's like, so you lost the gold medal. He goes, yeah, but can your wang do this?
Poor thing. That's gotta be a hard everything.
It was semi, I think.
Oh Lord.
You said it.
I did.
Hard
and
times.
The world to know.
Yeah.
Hard times is when a man trains for 4 years to go to the Olympic Games and his wiener gets in the way.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Right. And the world sees it. Like they zone in. I mean, world sees it.
If I had one, if mine looked like that, I want the world to see it too.
Oh Lord. Maybe not during your gold medaling pole vaulting opportunity.
He's gonna do a lot of pole vaulting as a result of this.
Oh Lord. As long as it's not porn.
Oh,
it just seems like, every time, the guys were talking, FFP was talking about this today. They talked about 1974, but every time there's some kind of event where I will say a man's penis is involved or in the forefront, like they talked about 1974 was Amy Fisher. She was born. Of course, she was with Jody Buttafuoco. They had an affair and shot the wife.
Yeah.
That made me think about John Wayne Bobbitt, how they both turned to porn after their fame was over. And I just think that's interesting.
If John Wayne Bobbitt would have had this guy's unit, they would have found it quicker.
I think the guy has landed himself some sponsorship opportunities for the rest of his life. Helen Blue Chew.
Exactly. Blue Chew. And his uniform's blue. So he just really goes. Oh my gosh. Off the rails. Not even been here 5 minutes. No.
Well, thank all the everybody that showed up early to hear us talking about Olympic Wang.
And Joey Buttafuoco.
And
we got T-Weave from soccer practice. Antonio Santos is here. Willie Buck. What's up, Willie Buck? Allison Faye. Yes.
Terry, please tell us that your son is not in the car listening to all of this wonderful talk. You're joining from the soccer practice.
It was on the Olympics, Amy.
Well,
that's very true. You're right.
I think back in the day, Howard Stern had the penis Olympics, and this takes it to the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what we're talking about, but speaking of the Olympics, this morning I was getting ready. I turned on the Olympics in the morning and there was speed climbing on. Have you all heard of this? It's like
Speed.
it's
Oh
like a
yeah,
rock climbing
rock
or
climbing. You got to go up there fast.
yeah. So I mean like those little like how you would go to a rock wall like at a, an
Hmm.
amusement park or whatever. Okay. It had to be 20, 30 feet. I don't even know how high it was. These people were going like the fastest I saw was 5 seconds. Can you imagine climbing up a wall in 5 seconds? I mean, it was I've never even seen what? I'd
Hopefully
never even
chased by a tiger or something. I could probably climb that thing in about 5 seconds.
I mean, that was crazy. I didn't know didn't realize that was an Olympic sport and watching them uh go again so it's 2 by 2s, they and then whoever wins goes on to the final and I mean, I'd never seen anything like it,
I've
but
seen the
check that
firemen
out.
do it. I've seen the firemen do it on those where they run and they plant the ladder and
Yeah,
shinny up the ladder.
yes. I don't know if they were any do that on their, off time or what, but yes, like 5 seconds. It's
Well, it just
crazy.
blows me away that they can do that with that ladder because I'm accustomed to seeing, people that are in incredibly good shape climb ladders incredibly slow
Sure.
and trying to reach for
Oh,
and
reach a
reach for
belt
yeah.
and try to unhook it.
You get
I
the
watched
way
a
that these
little.
firemen are going, they can run in, and be up that ladder and have it
I
and
watched a
go.
little women's water polo
Was
today.
Flava Flav, huh? Was he cheering them on?
I didn't see him, but I didn't watch very long. But we scored as soon as I started watching, so I felt like I was our good luck charm.
I think so.
But then Hungary scored right after that again, and we were down 2-1. So who
Hmm.
knows?
Willie Buck says that he lost his best friend yesterday, and Justin Wortham, and we're sorry to hear that, Willie.
He was
Yeah.
Justin was a announcer for I'm not really for sure where he was announcing because our friend Ref Adam from Bama also posted. Vladimir posted he was in a car wreck
Oh goodness,
and
that's
he
horrible.
died. Yes. And
Prayers to his
so
family.
definitely it was not that any, it was a very sudden, unexpected um I do not I need to look it up where he was announcing um but I saw that. I saw Adam had posted that. And yeah, that is terrible. He young.
That's horrible.
It is.
Well, did we watch Summer Slam this weekend?
Yes,
I
I
did.
did.
What did we think? I mean, just your initial reactions. I mean, we're going to wrap it up. We'll wrap up our final thoughts and the grading after we get through running through it. But I just wanted to
I think it
just
was one of the best Summer Slams I've seen in a long time. Honestly, I really did.
Yeah, I thought it was good. The only thing I felt like and that it held it back a little bit was its predictability. But I thought that I didn't think anything happened that I didn't like per se, other than my boy Logan Paul losing.
yeah.
But you kind of felt like that one was coming there.
Well, you couldn't keep beating LA Knight.
Yeah.
But I thought the same thing. I thought it was very predictable pay-per-view. I mean, I didn't predict. I missed one I missed the one match. I predicted Bailey and I was wrong. But I mean, the things that I thought were going to happen happened. So it just but even though it was predictable, I felt like it went where it needed to go. So
Mhm.
for something to be that predictable, it just really, really, really delivered as far as entertainment. I got to watch it. I actually watched it with Brian Clark, Adam Bomb,
Yeah. How about that?
Nice.
and he was
What do you
he
think?
was really enjoyed it, and it was just a pleasure to be with.
Did he give good not good, but did he give good feedback when y'all were watching it? I did not
Yeah.
watch it with
I thought he did.
Adam Baum. I do want to take a minute to say Heather did find it. Justin was part of the Diamond Championship Wrestling organization. I would look them up. I was just trying. I'm not exactly sure where they're out of.
Alabama.
Looks like Alabama.
Alabama,
Okay.
Mississippi, right on the other side of the line from Mississippi.
He was their announcer, and so
Oh goodness,
that's
that's
close. But like I said, terrible, unfortunate.
very terrible.
Thank you, Heather, for finding that for me. I did like SummerSlam. I know it was predictable, but I mean, there was a few things. I mean, like you want to talk about being nitpicky. So, are we talking about stuff? We're gonna go match by match, or what are we doing?
Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna break it down, and talk about it.
Okay, I'll just wait then.
Hey, I'm gonna say, I've all of a sudden, I always get these text messages, like an apparent wrong number text message. I mean, they're fishing is what they're doing.
Oh, well, yes, okay.
And I'll always say something. Sometimes I'll say something cute back. Sometimes I'll just hit report and delete.
You say something cute back. Tell us what do you say cute? What do you do?
Oh, I got this one saved.
Oh, it's a good one.
Well, they didn't respond after I said it.
Ah.
But they said, "Hey, I heard your smile heals everything. I came to get some healing power." So I responded, "I heard the same thing about looking at boobs." No response. But all of a sudden,
I'm confused about the smile comment, but we'll just move past that.
But it's always like, I had one the other day. "Hey, are you on my dating app?" I said, I don't think so. But I mean, it's always, and then you say you got the wrong number, and they go, "Thank you," and then they're trying, "I hope I didn't bother you."
Right.
And can I know who I'm talking to? No, you can't.
Yes, I actually got one the other day like that.
Well, now I'm just getting calls. Like the phone will start ringing, and it'll be like somebody's calling on WhatsApp, or somebody's calling on Messenger. Or so if I get one of those, during the show, I'm going to answer it, and we're going to have all kinds of fun.
Oh my!
Of course,
I started getting a lot of those kind of things after the tornado that was here in my area. I think someone, either they were spamming because they knew it was a local, it was a number associated with this area. Someone took it and put it on some kind of forums, because every so often I'd get a message for Jimmy. And so I don't know exactly what that was about, but it's like right after the tornado came through in December, about January, I started getting these interesting phone calls and text messages
from Jimmy.
No, for Jimmy. They're looking for Jimmy, wanted Jimmy to know his loan application was ready or something.
Little Jimmy Sorensen he put you down as a reference number.
Maybe didn't think about that. I have to ask.
Well, I've Googled about these, and they say they're scams.
Yeah.
But when I play along for a while, they never get to the scam part, so I don't get it. I mean, they're not setting the hook.
I feel like there's something about that I've heard about anyway, is they try to get you to say, like, they call you and they say, whatever, is Dave there or whatever, yes, this is him.
Oh, I won't do that.
Well, I'm just saying, I've heard that scam where they're trying to record you saying, yes, that's okay, or whatever. So then that way, yes, that's okay. Take out that loan or whatever, it comes across.
So yeah, I know better than to answer the phone and do that, but
right.
And I never give real information, and it's just that, but it's always, if they send a picture, it's always a woman of Asian descent,
young, pretty, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying that it's just, I don't know why all of a sudden, and I don't know if it's just one group that just does it,
Right.
But
Has your phone number been compromised?
I
Has
don't
there
think
been
so.
any bad weather or anything like that that would be, like I said, mine went crazy after the tornado. So I didn't know if you had anything in your area that
Well, I live
they
in
might have had a
my phone number doesn't have this area's area code.
oh, you from
I still have
Dallas.
my Dallas number. Me and that phone number been together for 30 years. It's my longest lasting relationship. I will never leave it.
Hmm.
Anyway, back to SummerSlam. Jelly Roll opens the show. Jelly Roll
Mhm.
sings America the Beautiful. I thought he did a great job. And then he had the official song of SummerSlam, and he performed that in the ring.
Is
And
he
they
from Cleveland? Is he from Cleveland? Do you
I don't know.
know? I just wondered if that I mean, I understand he had the song, but I thought because he had a big part, of the whole thing. So I was just wondering, I'm gonna look up old Jelly Roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Willie Buck is telling us that Justin was also an announcer for Revolt Pro Wrestling and Combat Sport Pro Wrestling.
Oh,
So he did multiples. Thank you, Willie, for letting us know.
He's from Tennessee. Jelly Roll.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
okay.
he
That's
did a
fine.
great job. I like Jelly Roll, and
Mhm.
I love that our Truth posted a picture with him and said I got to meet Post Malone.
That was great.
Our Truth's the absolute best.
And our truth needs to
Did.
lay off of poor old Robert Gibson's eye out
He
there.
got it. He got it fixed. Oh Lord, what in the
So
world? Oh, that was great.
so we kick off the event with Liv Morgan defending the WWE Women's Championship against Mommy Rhea Ripley
Mm-hmm.
with Dom Dom in tow. My first impression was that Rhea's gear screamed babyface.
Mm.
Screamed babyface to me. Her presentation.
I
It,
think
it
she
did.
was already baby. I mean, nobody's booing her, even
Right.
before she left with the injury. Like she was the likable person of Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So,
Well, but she was still harsh, and she wore all black, and
oh yeah.
Hmm.
she came out with the blue and black, and they're just she was clearly in the babyface role that night,
Definitely.
and and it went like I thought it was going to go. Dom turned on her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I saw it coming when he made her cry, when he made Liv cry a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh no, he's gonna definitely leave Rhea.
I like how they kept with the whole you can't, he's like getting the chair out of her hands. You can't win the title that way. Like again, always everything he was doing, even though it might have looked like it was suspicious or against Rhea, it was like that makes sense. You can't win the title that way. Don't hit her with the chair. And it could have he was fussing with the ref. And so again, that could have been, I mean, we've seen that a lot where it's like, oh, I accidentally hit, caused you to lose the match. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it to go that way, kind of thing. But I thought that I like how they kept with that. And that's how we ended up with, the turn, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
you know.
but
Um,
Liv retains. She retained the title. Dom picks her up off the ground.
Whew.
Kissed her.
That wasn't just a kiss.
no
There was a lot of spit getting exchanged in this
Hey, if
thing.
you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly.
He went full force. I
kidding.
appreciated the commitment to the work.
Yeah.
And the camera angles, right? So that we
Yeah.
all got to be part of it.
Terry makes a good point. Even the distraction could have been debatable. Then they sealed it with a kiss.
Definitely. Yeah.
They did.
It was getting into Edge and Lita territory there for a second, I thought.
But it was.
Hey, this is Triple H's new raunchy at WWE. The dogs liked it too.
Heck yeah.
I'm hoping. Oh, I'm hoping that I'm ready for Netflix with these two.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
But hey, this was my favorite match of the night.
Oh,
This was my favorite
really?
match of the night. I gave it 5 jars.
Ooh,
Damn.
5
awesome.
jars. Bleacher Report only gave it a B.
What did they
Yeah.
not like? Did they say?
Uh,
I mean, I can see that.
They didn't.
That's
They
probably
weren't
where
very.
I would land on it for me personally. Somewhere
I
in
mean, I
there.
thought all the interference was well placed. No, but they weren't waiting around for Dom to
Right.
show up. He was hitting his marks. I think the finisher on the chair was. I mean, I thought it was flawless.
And Andrew makes a point. Beat Rhea the same way he helped her beat Becky. So a little.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
y'all don't kiss like that, Andrew. Oh, that's so funny. But
Teppy and
yeah,
Dave too.
yeah,
Oh
probably.
yeah. Pep's out of control with that
I
tongue.
was in Waterloo with them. Yes, they do. So out of control.
That's right. The
In the
passion's still
museum.
alive. Oh,
Oh Lordy. Do you need a minute, Pondwater?
Yeah, she's not home right now, so he.
yeah,
you
I'm
know.
good. And so next up, Braun Breaker challenging Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. My first observation is the Intercontinental title is the Charlie Brown Christmas tree of WWE belts.
Mm.
But it's not even that you feel sorry for it, like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. And it also looked like it was in bad shape. It looked like one of the plates was side plates was trying to fall off. I thought when I saw that it's the Intercontinental title that it is definitely time for them to upgrade that championship. They've done so well with all the rest of their belts.
Didn't they just upgrade it just like 3 years ago? They did a new one. Like,
I don't know. That's an upgrade though, buddy.
I agree, but it's their upgrade.
But it's beat all to hell, and it needs to be fixed.
Well, and maybe that's why they didn't. They knew they were going to go through this changeover, so they're like, "We'll just wait."
And by fixed, we mean go back to the Macho Man Intercontinental Belt. Damn it.
Or the Oval IC. I take any of them, or just come up with something new.
Mm-hmm.
They've done really well with their new belts. But Braun and Sammy, this is the match that we should have got last time they met up.
Exactly. This is the match we should have gotten last time. Or this is the result. This is the result we should have got last time. Braun winning.
It just doesn't take it. I mean, when you look at Braun Breaker, the way he floats to the top, the way that he floats to the top rope and stands there and then delivers the Breakensteiner. They called it the Breakensteiner. And I mean, he's just so good.
How he just hops off the top rope and throws that on, and just it's some athletic shit going on out there.
I just thought it was incredible. I mean, he's so good, and he pretty much beat Sammy pretty handily. And like I said,
again,
what draws me away from this is why did we go the route we went the last time? I just don't get it.
I hope it wasn't because we were in Canada and Sammy's I hope it's not, because that was probably, and I think for us when we previewed it last month or whenever it was, that was the one match we were all like, I mean, he was on a winning streak. He was so dominant. Of course, he's going to come in there and he's just going to tear Sammy apart. And we didn't get it. And it was just kind of like, and then a month later we do. Like, it just didn't. I don't know. I don't know what in the world they
but it got us there. It gave Braun another month of build. What do you think of the 2 out of 3 falls Monday? I was not aware we were going to do 2 out of 3 falls on Monday.
Oh, that's right. He did get his rematch. He was talking to Jay.
I didn't know it was going to be 2 out of 3 falls. I like that. I'm old school. 2 out of 3 falls matches I like it. I like it as long as they don't go out there and beat him in 2 straight in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, I haven't seen a good WWE 2 out of 3 falls match in a long, long time. But I'm definitely for it.
I kind of like though. I like the idea of the person who loses, the champion who lost. They need to go back to the bottom of the line and claw their way up. I mean, we're literally going to see the exact same match that we just had. Granted, it's 2 out of 3 falls, which we know that means Braun will take a fall, Sammy will take a fall, and then we have to really wait for
I
that
don't
third
know though.
fall.
Braun may go 2 straight if they're building him to be a monster.
We just heard from
Probably
Amy
true.
Von Tunney, the
Yeah.
commissioner, who said, "Get your ass to the back of the line."
But I mean, it's great, but it's like we're going to have the same. I mean, we've already seen these two wrestle for a while. It's like go to the end of the line. Let's get. Let's
You don't think the champion should have a rematch and the rematch clause?
no.
I mean, they have the fake contract signing. Why can't they have the fake rematch clause?
I didn't see a fake contract signing.
I mean, you know what I'm saying,
person.
that they
No, I agree, but I'm just saying. I just think it kind of it stops us from seeing the same group of people wrestling every week. If because then what if he wins? But it wasn't for the title, or how they do some stupid stuff sometimes like that. But I think they should go to the bottom of the line. I
Yeah,
do, because
okay.
then that just guarantees a fresh matchup with Braun and
Hmm.
whoever's in the next behind it.
Amy just Rosa Parked freaking Sami Zayn right there.
How
Go to the
important
back
was
of
the
line.
IC title? Hogan would be on one show. IC Tyler was the main event on the other back when WWF ran 2 shows every night.
It was the workman's title. And I think Gerard said it earlier. It was kind of a precursor. Like, that is like you jumped from the IC into the heavyweight title reign. I
Mhm.
like that too,
Well, I think we absolutely saw that with our boy Gunther, who dropped the IC and immediately went into a program for the world title.
Yep. How about Logan versus LA Knight? Oh, back to Braun and Sammy. I gave it 4 jars.
Yeah.
And the reason I gave it 4 jars is because I was in my head about the previous matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get it. So, but it was a great match. Bleacher Report gave it a B. So, I mean, 4 jars I think is fair for him.
That's probably where I would have it. I thought it was a great match. I find myself, I can't wait for the Braun Breaker matches just because I want to see what kind of Rick Steiner looking outfit he's wearing this
Yeah.
week. But he's just amazing in the ring. He's going to be a world champion very soon. And
I don't know if very soon, but down the road.
Yeah. I would say,
I don't see how you're not on a collision course with Gunther at some point.
yeah, I would say within a year. I'd say SummerSlam of next year he'll
Wait a
be in
minute.
the main event.
Y'all help me out. Is the Intercontinental title on SmackDown, or is the Intercontinental title on Raw?
I never knew it was held to. I guess it is. I never knew it was on one or the
They
other,
were
but it
on
is.
Raw.
It's Raw.
They were,
It's Raw.
They were
Okay.
Raw.
Yeah.
So that will put them. That will put them on a collision course at some point.
Well, and one of the things, I mean, just to throw in Raw from last night, Braun Breaker was all about, this is my title. This plate ain't going to be coming off. So, I mean, he may stay Intercontinental Champion for a long time.
He probably will.
For his choice, like him wanting, to take on all comers. So I think that'll be interesting.
Gerard said he actually met the guy who went to Portsmouth, New Hampshire Harbor, and got the IC title that Austin threw in the harbor from the bridge against The Rock.
That shit was cold.
They wouldn't buy it back from him. But it wasn't the actual Intercontinental title. They just threw an old tag belt in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the guy that has that belt now. And the guy that sold it to him, I can't give the numbers out because it's not my story. I don't really think I'm supposed to share the part of it. But somebody got it off of eBay, and it turned out to be that belt that they fished out, and because they threw an old tag in there. And but but my friend Ron has it now. So
And they got and he got it off eBay, or he got it off a
the
guy
guy
who
that he got
off
it from
eBay?
got it off eBay.
Interesting. I don't
But it's a
visit
Reggie.
eBay
It's a Reggie.
enough.
It's a Reggie Parks WWF tag.
Interesting.
I mean, you can see where the
Now I'm
damage
like, draw.
being in the river.
Did he have to like scuba dive for it?
Yeah, the guy recognized where they threw it and went diving for it. Anyway, Logan Paul versus LA
That's pretty
Knight.
cool.
Logan Paul shows up in the stolen Prime Mobile, and the busting the window out was stupid. I mean, it was a piece of plexiglass
Right.
with, wrapped plexiglass. So, I mean, it didn't really have a purpose, but WWE can afford to replace it. I was trying to figure out why my camera angle is so wonky tonight. There we go.
I did like Jake Paul coming out, and I couldn't tell if he was trying to get heat at the beginning with the Cleveland crowd because his coat looked black and orange. So I didn't know if he was going like Bengals colors there, but then his pants looked brown and orange. So I was kind of, I don't know. Well, he seemed to be wanting at least putting his color scheme connected to
Brian Clark.
Cleveland.
Brian Clark thought that Logan was doing a little gimmick infringement on Cody with his gear. And I told him, I said, well, he really started wearing the Stars and Stripes jacket when he became the U.S. champion, because he went all in on being U.S. champion.
I think that makes sense. I mean, I get it, but I think that, I mean, like you said, it goes with his title. It's not just something he's doing.
I think that this probably going to be not very popular. I feel like they struck a little bit late on giving LA Knight this title, because I don't see quite the pops that he used to get. And it's like, I feel like they may have missed their chance there.
Well, it was crap or get off the pot with him this time. And I mean, it really would have spoke volumes if he would have came out empty-handed on this.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And Logan doesn't need the U.S. title.
No,
he doesn't need it. And did you notice that Prime was not alone with being the only spot? There's more sponsors in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting more and more sponsors inside the ring now.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I really liked the color of the mat. It was almost kind of this color, like that baby blue of the drink of like that truck. But I thought it popped and it looked really good on TV.
Oh. See, I'm having a hard time with all of the sponsorships everywhere, because it is very new in a sense to, like you said, the red, white, and blue ropes and the beat up old mat, and and the fringe, the Aldi, the Aldi of the grocery store kind of thing, of ring mats. So it's really hard. Like, I just feel like everywhere I turn, it's like, but I do know in other sports it's like that. But I don't
have a problem with it.
In boxing, they've done it forever.
Man, if I was a boxer, I'd be selling advertisement on the bottom of my shoes.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's
because
like
I'd be on my back a lot.
Right. Oh.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it makes it look more like real big fight feel, like boxing or like that whatever UFC fighting stuff. I think it gives it more of that.
I think I mean, when people are willing to put their name on that, I think that it's somewhat legitimate. I mean, I never thought I'd see a day where we would have a vodka. We'd have vodka on the ring apron. I mean, they used to say beer sponsors were a big deal, but now, I mean, we've skipped to the hard stuff.
Well, and let me just say too, for Gerard Millette, who says, I know it generates money, but it's a sacred area and it shouldn't be sold. I think that it's like us old timers that, like, I hated when the National League was going to get the DH in baseball, the designated hitter. And I was like, as an old school, the Reds first team in baseball. We never had the designated hitter. I thought this is going to be lousy and terrible. And now that we have it, I'm glad we have it because it takes that crappy hitting pitcher out of having to watch that all the time on TV. So I think, like anything else, it's new to get used to, but it'll be normal here soon, and no one will say anything about it.
Change. I don't like change for the sake of change, but sometimes change is good.
Yeah.
I mean, just this week, the Batman the Cape Crusader premiered on Prime, on Amazon Prime, and it's a cartoon in the same vein as Batman the Animated Series. And right out of the gate, the villain was the Penguin, but it wasn't Oswald Cobblepot. It was Oswalda Cobblepot. They made the Penguin a woman. Much better character. Better character. I was fully prepared to crap all over it. And more vicious than the Penguin, than the Oswald Cobblepot character. But I was fully prepared to crap on it, and I gave it a chance. And truthfully, they can always bring Oswald in as the twin brother. I mean, they could do that too. So it's not like that it's either or, but just that dynamic of making the Penguin a woman. It was so good, and I was fully prepared. I was fully prepared to just like roll my eyes and thinking, because unfortunately today in today's society, we change things for the sake of changing things.
Yeah. I think that though, wouldn't a female penguin be meaner because they got to guard the eggs for the most part? So I think that you wouldn't want to mess with a female penguin.
No spoilers, but you can see what she did. She's vicious. I mean, like bad to the bone, and I'm not teasing like Michael Hayes used to say. But anyway, that's what I'm saying.
Efren's changing his name to Oswalda after this.
Well,
Oswalda Bajorquez.
Gerard does make a good point. Boxing and UFC needs it because they don't have commercials. I guess that's the other thing too. I get we do want to make money, and they have shareholders now, and I'm sure that is a driving force. But I don't want to see the wrestlers have team. I don't want them to be wearing Prime and all this other stuff all over their outfits. I don't know. If I had my druthers, I would say stay off the ring.
I wholeheartedly want to see
around, it. But
I want to see the Blue Chew pump handle slam in the middle of the match.
Oh Lord. The camera angle, right?
I think we saw that at the Olympics.
There was a spot that went.
Oh, we did.
I want to talk about the superplex in this match. Most of the time your superplex goes up and they go in the big arc to the ring. This one did look like it did not go right. It looked like a brainbuster from the top rope. And it looked really vicious from the first camera angle. They showed a replay from a different camera angle, and you saw that it wasn't as bad as it looked from the first camera angle. But it didn't look like a superplex. And even, like I said, I watched it with Brian Clark, and even he thought, oh my God,
I thought he did it on purpose. I thought he wanted it to be that. It looks like he kind of tucks him in there toward the end and makes sure he doesn't go right on top of his head.
Yeah, well, it looked like a brain buster, and so thank goodness it was thank goodness they were all right on that. But it was kind of hairy there for a second. Bleacher Report gave it a B+. I gave it 4 jars. What do y'all think?
Oh,
I did not get to watch that in its entirety, so I can't vote.
I give it 3. It's just, I don't know.
I'm tired of the Logan Paul brass knucks handler.
LA Knight. I
didn't know that was Machine Gun Kelly, by the way. I had no idea that was Machine Gun Kelly because he's not calling himself Machine Gun Kelly anymore. He's just going by initials.
Oh, geez.
MGK. And I don't know if that's because guns aren't cool right now, and maybe he's rebranded, but I didn't know that's who it was. But whoever he comes to the ring with, is going to be passing the brass knucks. And I liked the finish because normally that brass knuck spot would be belly to back suplex into the ring, brass knucks to the head, you fall down, make the cover. But he didn't really get him. You could tell he didn't really get him that good. And LA Knight was able to capitalize.
There wasn't nothing inherently wrong with it. I do not like LA Knight's wrestling in his matches. For some reason, I can't get into them. So for me personally, I give it a 3. But there wasn't anything wrong with it.
Go ahead, Damie.
No, I was just going to say, I do enjoy watching Logan Paul. I can't get over the fact that he is, whatever, 10 matches in, or whatever.
I enjoy watching Logan Paul too.
He's awesome.
I think he'd probably have an incident at the pole vaulting too if he was going over it.
Well, he's really incredible to watch, and I don't think he needs all that gaga in his matches.
Right.
I mean, because we're talking about a predictable pay-per-view, and him going to that brass knuck spot is predictable. It doesn't have to be every time.
Right. But I do enjoy watching him because he's such a, like I said, 10 matches in, and the things that he's doing with the different wrestlers, like I found that very entertaining.
And you have a lot of room to talk about brass knucks when at Ric Flair's last match, they're cheating, got Conrad Thompson cheating, some bitches throwing brass knucks in, and Ric Flair, you come in and act like, oh, nothing happened. Yep, it's all legal. Just count this thing.
I didn't see it.
What was you doing back there?
Talking to Hurricane.
Sad part is it's probably true.
Not far off. I'm embellishing a little bit. Actually, I'll tell you exactly what I was doing at the time. They were telling the wrestlers that if they wanted to come out, they didn't have to come out after the match, but if they wanted to come out the ringside to, pay the respect to Rick, that they could do it. And all the referees were going around relaying this, and Scott Armstrong said, "Hey, I told you to go do it." And I said, I'm fixing to run out. He goes, "You keep doing what you're doing." But anyway, Shawn Michaels being his personal trainer, it shows, and I do see flashes of HBK in the way Logan Paul performs, and I mean that as a hell of the compliment that it is.
Oh, definitely.
Hopefully he's not going to be gone too long. Hopefully this is just
hopefully he doesn't lose his smile.
Yeah, I mean, I want him to stay around. I think the WWE's better. I think WWE's better when Logan Paul's around. He's a tremendous heel. Brings a lot of, so everybody was saying that. I mean, and we won't go all the way into it. I'm just going. He tweeted something, and everybody was on his ass about tweeting it. But that ain't the worst thing he's ever tweeted. And when they talk about that, maybe WWE said something to him about his social media, they wouldn't dare.
That's why he's there.
He don't need them. He does more for them. He does more for them than they do for him.
Mm-hmm.
When he went against Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia, before he went up on that platform, he started Instagram Live. I got a notification he'd gone live, and I watched. And he immediately went to 70,000 viewers. That's where it peaked. And they didn't start dropping off until he set the camera down to go to the ring. When you can go live on a Saturday afternoon and get 70,000 people watching.
Crazy.
We got 65,000 when we did it, but who's counting?
That's right.
But next up, Bayley versus Nia Jax. Bayley's defending her women's championship against Nia Jax, the queen Nia Jax. Nia comes to the ring without Tiffany Stratton in tow. I think she had a new crown on. I don't believe we'd seen that crown before. And this match pretty much gave me what I needed. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was. Like I said, I went into it thinking that Bayley was going to keep the title because of Tiffany Stratton. And we got Tiffany Stratton she came out and the crowd popped. The crowd popped when it said, when the music hit, it's Tiffy time.
It's Teppy time. That's what we're gonna do when Teppy runs in the end of these shows.
And what I'm saying is she came out and she caused a distraction, and it just,
she had a cash in, right?
well, she didn't.
Well, yeah.
She didn't. And I mean, that's gonna be drug out a little bit. And it's gonna be interesting with Nia's champion, and I'm for it because Bailey didn't need the championship.
No. And you could tell, we've talked about this for the last 6 months, of the build that they're giving the queen here of the ring. And from the queen of the ring and on, you can tell that even before that, you could tell they were going to maybe finally give her a good push. And we're seeing it.
It's
And I love
but
it.
I think there's going to be another queen that's going to take exception.
Yeah, I'd say you're right. But I feel like Nia has gotten better and slightly better at her work.
I think she's great.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick at stuff, but I thought overall she has cleaned up some of the rough edges that may have been there before in her previous runs. And I think she's doing a fantastic job with it. Just that confidence that she had after she won, and just, you can tell that she's kind of exuding something different this time.
That bonsai drop is impressive.
She gave a couple times to her.
Yeah. I gave it a B-. No, I didn't. Bleacher Report gave it a B-. I gave it 3 jars and a mouthful.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Bailey always brings it pretty, and I thought she did here. And once again, solid match.
Next up, we have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special referee. I got tickled at Seth. When he came out with his robe, because I thought somebody said Beetlejuice 3 times.
Yeah. Our buddy JD Hoop, we'll see some of his robe work on this show too.
But it was I think he did a great job as a special referee.
I like the little callback they did to the Summer Slam '97 with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, when they got the chair and swung it, and then they pulled up before they could do the whole finish to that.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Now I didn't like the finish. I thought that Punk should have gone over with Shawn Michaels with I was gonna
say Shawn's going to run in on this thing
with Seth Rollins missing, trying to screw Punk, but he actually gets a Drew, and then Drew loses again by another screw job, and they keep that going a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thing, is that's where I thought I would have liked to seen Drew screwed one more time.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I mean, Drew won with authority.
Yeah. I always love when Seth gives the little Bret Hart tributes with his ring attire and his pink and black. And really, it was reminiscent a little bit of the Bret Hart and Undertaker match, just because of the size difference between the two.
Well, I've seen side-by-side video of it where the same spot.
Yeah.
But I gave it 3. I gave it 3 in a mouthful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean, and that's still good. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. Bleacher Report gave it a B+, so they liked it more than I did.
Anytime I can see Phil lose, I'm for it.
But I liked it when Seth jumped up on the top rope and let him fight outside, and he didn't do a count, because why bother?
Yeah.
I thought as a special referee, he did the, He was there to draw attention to himself.
Mhm.
He was part of the equation.
You think so with that
Yeah.
outfit?
I mean, I'm just saying, it's not like your typical referee should not draw attention to themselves. This
I
guy
think
was
you should
out
wear
there.
that. You should wear that in your next match.
No, no, dude. I can't do
You
it.
look good in those shiny pants or whatever out there.
Oh yeah. I can
Darren's
rock
late. He wants us to recap the entire show for him.
in like 45 seconds.
Yeah. Well, Amy was late too, so that's the first part. Then what did we talk about? The Olympics and some
pole vault.
wieners not getting over the pole. You missed that. And then we've been talking about SummerSlam. There you are.
Jars and mouthfuls of jars were given. Now you're up to date. All right, this is the one we were waiting for. This was we knew it was going to happen. We had Damian Priest defending against Gunther, and Gunther took his rightful place as the world heavyweight champion. I don't think that Gunther should have lost the Intercontinental title. I think that he should have carried the Intercontinental title all the way
gave it up,
and then had stood there in the ring holding both belts like back shades of the Ultimate Warrior.
Mhm.
I don't ever see a reason he shouldn't have dropped it to Sammy, other than having Sammy lose it to Braun. You made Braun at SummerSlam.
You know what I like about Gunther is he doesn't need anything. Like, yeah, he kind of has some underlings with him, and he kind of has his little German gimmick, but he really doesn't need crap. People
Right.
respect his look, his work. That's all he needs. I mean, and he's just a big, impressive person who has worked for this for years, gotten his body in so much better
Oh,
shape
yeah.
over the last 2 or 3 years, and deserves every bit of it. And I, for sure, am ready for the Gunther reign.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited, and I like that Randy Orton stepped up. I like that Randy Orton stepped up to be the first challenger,
Mhm.
and I like that they actually pointed out that Gunther didn't win. Gunther didn't win clean.
Right.
He-
That's a very go ahead.
That's a great observation, Gerard.
Yes.
I hadn't put it
Yeah.
together, but you said it, and yes, Gunther reminds me of Killer Kowalski. He does a
Mhm.
lot. But Randy Orton comes out,
Maybe a little
and
mixture.
and Gunther even acknowledges that it's kind of a blemish on my record that I didn't beat you clean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they didn't ignore that the shoulder was up.
Hmm.
So I love the match. Four jars and a mouthful for me, and the reason the outside interference by Finn Balor really took away. To me, it took away. But I know it was a necessary evil because you had Dom turn on Rhea.
Right.
I knew Finn Balor was going to turn on Priest to redo the reshuffle the deck, and now you've established that Damian Priest and Rhea say they are the Judgment Day, and the other ones are just a bomb ass version of it. That's what they called it.
Mhm.
So, but having Randy Orton and Gunther in Berlin is going to be really, I think it's going to be a really good match. And that's a legitimate contender, and I think we talked about it. We talked about it the other night on the pregame that about challengers for Gunther on Raw. Who you got other than Braun Breaker? And you're not going to do that immediately. They had to bring Randy Orton from SmackDown because I don't really think. I mean, there's the usual suspects, Seth, and
I think Seth has moved on. If you see on what happened at Raw,
Yeah.
he's got his feud now, so which is cool.
yeah, I thought we were going to get Seth and Punk, and apparently they've thrown that wrinkle there.
I don't think we're finished with Drew and Punk. Drew
No.
still has the bracelet, so
Who are they setting Seth up with? I didn't watch Raw.
Bronson Reed. he destroyed Seth, and then he kept on jumping off the top rope doing that finisher that he does. He did it to him like 7 times.
I mean, it looked brutal. It looked
Ben Rowe thinks that it exposed Bronson Reed's finisher because Seth was still able to roll around. He should have been completely incapacitated. I mean, he took it that many times. Now, I mean, they did tell the story that he was coughing up blood.
Yeah, they showed him coughing up. He bit his lip or something, but
I
they
mean,
show him
blood
spitting
everywhere.
up blood. Yeah,
But what I'm saying is, I see Ben Rowe's point,
right.
but I think that the internal bleeding story, it amazed me how long it took them to drag him out of the ring.
No shit.
That he
I
just
thought the same
Hey,
thing.
they all got out the way. It's like, let's help Seth, let's help Seth. Let's get out, let's help ourselves. Okay, we're gonna check on Seth again.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Get out of the way so he could do it. I'm like,
Hey,
my
I
God,
wouldn't get in his way either.
grab a leg and drag him out of the way. It's like, what in the world?
I mean, I stood up to Angel Camacho, and y'all saw how that ended for me.
Exactly.
So I'm excited because I mean, Bronson Reed is he's a very impressive performer, wrestler, superstar, whatever you're gonna call him. He's been kind of out there, a ship without a port. And now that I think that attaching him to Seth Rollins, hopefully he'll come out better on the other side of it. So, now we're going to get to the main event. Solo Sikoa challenging Cody Rhodes in a bloodline match.
Okay, can I just say something about this?
Let's do it.
I love Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
Solo Sikoa doesn't, in my opinion, have a big enough name to headline Summer Slam. And I felt like this main event was the most predictable of all the matches because no one thought Solo Sikoa was going to be the WWE champion. No one thought it was even going to be close to happening, which is why, in my opinion, he shouldn't be in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, it was very predictable. You knew that they were going to get Cody in a tough spot, and Roman's going to come out and save the day, and that's what we had
We
here.
thought Roman was, but they also had slipped in that The Rock's mom was there.
Yeah.
So we didn't know that we weren't going to get Rocky.
I did not.
I mean, I felt
hear that part.
I felt it was going to be. I felt it was going to be Roman. My hopes coming out of it was that Roman was going to be such a huge babyface that it was going to turn Cody into a heel.
Yeah.
Y'all know how bad I want.
Oh,
that.
that's very true, Heather Whitley. There was a little bit of a nice little unpredictable part that happened.
Yeah, how'd y'all like the camera starting out with Cody in the trailer? He comes out and he walks Pharaoh.
Yeah. I like that.
I do too.
But anytime there's a dog in the scene, it gets extra points.
Yeah, he called his dog. They asked about Yeti, and he said Yeti was a jobber.
I just kept praying that he didn't take him out there to the pyro again.
Right.
I was glad he gave him up before he walked out.
That's how they walked. He walked up, and then he had a talk with Arn, and then his mother-in-law put the ring jacket on him. And
yeah, how about Arn showing up, Amy?
I loved it.
I was shocked, but I like the presentation they did with all the legends that were there. And Cody even mentioned, and he said he didn't know if he was supposed to say anything or not, but this was the first time. This is the first time that they got a memo, like they had a flyer, a pamphlet or something that these are the legends that are going to be here tonight. You know, you go and thank them. But it gave a bio of each one of them for the younger talent that may not know exactly what their contributions were. You know, he even named Tiffany Stratton. He said, you know, she's very young. Maybe she doesn't know who, you know, it probably does,
Sure.
But what if, he thought it was great that they gave the legends that kind of treatment that night.
Well, I think that
It's nice.
Solo can headline a in your house, but I don't know if he's a man to headline SummerSlam. And I do understand what Andrew said earlier, which is it was just there to further the story along to get Roman to
Mhm.
come back and I get all that. And so I guess in a way he was a bit of a pawn for all of that to happen.
Well,
But
I think
I still think you need to have a little bit of competitiveness and guess worthiness about who may or may not win the main event.
Mm.
Guess worthiness is a new word that I just made up, Efren, if you're wondering.
well, I thought it was good. I thought that I think Roman came out and did what Roman needed to do to Solo. I would have rather he
Mhm.
just came out and speared Solo, Superman punch, spear, and then got his necklace and
Mhm.
put the necklace on.
Ooh, I like that.
But we're leading for a Bloodline versus Bloodline Survivor Series War Games probably, and I'm excited to think that maybe we're going to get the Usos back with him and Sami Zayn. I think losing the Intercontinental title has freed up Sami Zayn because when was Sami Zayn his best?
With the
What's the most
bloodline.
interesting Sami Zayn's been in the last 3 years? When he was in the Bloodline.
Mhm.
When he was in the Bloodline,
Definitely.
that was his best. That was when he was at his best. He gonna be honorary Oos. I'm for it. And I like that they kept the Jacob Fatu. I like the injury angle that they did, and he sold it. You weren't sure. I mean,
So
hey, let's go back to Rhea Ripley. Let's go back to Rhea Ripley with the separated shoulder. You weren't sure that her shoulder wasn't really separated.
Mhm.
The way she had it contorted, you were wondering did it really pop out? And then you realized it didn't. But I love the Lethal Weapon Mel Gibson popping his shoulder
Yeah.
back
Oh,
in spot.
yeah.
That was incredible. But back to Jacob Fatu having the injury out there that kept him from getting off the broken table and getting in there. So it kept Jacob away from Roman.
Are we sure that is an angle? I mean,
Didn't see
I
any
mean,
doctors around him.
he's
Yeah,
wearing a boot.
if it wasn't an angle, it's awful convenient that it kept him from helping the
Right.
entire time.
That's very
It
true.
smells like an
I
angle
think
to
it's
me.
great storytelling, is what I think.
Yeah.
I hope
And
it is. I do too. I hope it was because I don't. This is going really good for Jacob. The last thing I would want was for him to, injure himself.
oh yeah, I worried about it because I love him so much. He's the
True.
best.
No. Yes. Very true.
He's the best. He's the best out of all of them. I'm not going to say just the best of the Samoans. He's probably top five in the company,
He's
and people just
very.
don't realize
I
it
will
yet.
say it was really cool as I'm sitting on my couch watching SummerSlam, see someone out there that I've done illegal things with in the past. So it was pretty cool.
But yeah, they didn't have the
Lord.
doctors. Gerard points
True.
out the doctors would have been there immediately, and they weren't.
That's very
But I
true.
think it was brilliant booking. And think about how big that guy is and how he flies.
It's almost like Braun Breaker. Like you said about how fluid, or like you said, he's just jumping up on the. I mean, that size and having that agility and that kind of stuff. I mean, he's very much like Braun Breaker in the ring.
Yeah, I
Oh, he
mean,
is, yeah.
see, a lot of these heavyweight wrestlers can move like cruiserweights, but a lot of time the way
Mhm.
they're booked, they don't allow them to. Lance Archer's had that
Right.
problem for years. Lance Archer can flip flop and fly with the best of them, but he doesn't have to because he's a monster.
Hmm.
Right.
But they're letting the monsters in the WWE do amazing things, and I'm super excited about the WWE product. I can't wait to see what's next.
But one thing I did not like, and it was just a visual thing. I know that we knew that Kevin Owens. Well, I don't know. I felt like Arn, the way Arn talked about, I actually thought it might be someone else coming out to help Cody. He talked about you still have, friends in the back and that kind of stuff. Like I really thought maybe
Yeah,
we're going
Arn
to
let
see
me down.
someone. Yeah, I really thought we might be seeing somebody new, or yeah, I didn't wasn't for sure. But that that you had to come down to the ring and then hang a right and keep going towards the ring. The entry was like an L,
I like
and
the
they
entry
played
though.
music.
I
I'm
like
talking
the
about
lack
for
of.
Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to come help save. We got music, we got jogging, we got to
Oh yeah.
go half a
Norton looked like
mile.
he looked like he showed up for the Royal Rumble. He
I
was in no
wish
sense of urgency getting down there.
No, I wish that they would have had him. It
Just let
would
him
have been
run and hit
nice,
the ring.
right? Or come from this
It
back,
felt
or
very much like the end of WrestleMania when you had, all these people come in, like and it was just, here's their music, and they run in, and here's their
I
music,
don't
and they
need.
run in. And
Yeah, I've always said the sound guy is a heel because he always
Yes.
turns on the good guys' music to warn the bad guys that the good guy's on his way.
that's the only thing I was just kind of like, oh man. I mean, we know Kevin's coming. Like you said, it was like a Royal Rumble entrance.
Oh,
Everybody's kind of jogging
Randy,
down,
no hurry at all,
and
none
it just,
whatsoever.
and then Kevin's getting beat up. And, they're doing their little thing. Why
I wasn't
wouldn't Kevin
sure.
and Randy come together? You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, oh, I gotta wait for mine. Oh, here I come.
I wasn't sure that the way that Randy was coming down, that he wasn't going to slip in the ring and put an RKO on Cody.
True. That's true. That mean, and maybe
No,
that's
I'm
what they were going
serious
for. No, I
because
know.
I'm looking for swerves, bro.
Yeah.
there wasn't a whole lot of those. I mean, even the swerves were predictable, like the turning
Right.
of Dom and
But it was
and blah,
necessary.
blah. Yeah.
I mean, we had 4 title changes. We had 2 betrayals. And I think it was awesome. I think it was a good show. If I would have paid AEW money to watch this show, there would have been no buyer's remorse. Andrew said it was control alt delete. They reset the deck. Now here we go. We're going to Berlin. We're on our way to Survivor Series. I can't wait to see what's going to happen from the Rumble. This is a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Definitely.
And
lots of storylines. Like you can, if the bloodline is not your thing, you've got the Judgment Day going on. You've even got the Damage Control versus.
it's like Bruce said, it's a 3-ring circus.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
You don't like the clowns? Watch the trapeze. If you like the lion tamer, I mean, there's something for everybody right now.
Definitely.
And it's a whole different attitude in the company. Look what they're doing with Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is a TNA wrestler featured on NXT, doing house shows and working out with WWE. It's kind of like WWE says, hey, we're taking this guy. Y'all can have him a little bit too, but writing's on the wall. We're gonna take him.
Right.
But I mean, it's unprecedented what they're doing. And I think it's, Jordan Grace is getting the occasional rub. Joe Hendry, there's others that are from TNA that are getting to do it. And I mean, it really doesn't benefit NXT at all, with the exception of Joe Hendry. But it's doing I think it helps. It really helps TNA a lot.
I know that the first pay-per-view that Triple H did once Vince had quit the first time, Amy and I was at it at Nashville, and you could tell just a difference in the way that show was set up. The pacing was a lot better. Had that fun thing at the end with Brock Lesnar getting a tractor and dumping the ring over. It just felt like, you know what, that was a good show finally. And really, everyone since, every pay-per-view since, has been very solid. Maybe not everyone's been a banger, but nothing has been a crapper as far as pay-per-views go since Triple H took over. And I'm going
to the takeover format.
Yeah. And I'm going to I went to my first Summer Slam a couple years ago, as I said, and I'm going to my first Royal Rumble this February in Indy. So I'm excited. Can't wait for that.
this will probably be the last SummerSlam that's one night. But I'm good with having 2 nights of SummerSlam. We had 7 very good matches, and they can do this. They can do this for 2 nights. And how about when and eventually there's going to be probably going to be 2 Royal Rumbles, a two night Royal Rumble, a men's and a title match one night, the women's and title match next night.
Mm.
I mean, how great would that be?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the Royal Rumble would benefit greatly not to have 2 Rumble matches on the same show.
True.
So I like it. I like it a lot. And
What do you guys think if you did it this way? What if the first night was men's matches, men's Royal Rumble. Second night, women's matches, women's Royal Rumble. Do you
that's
think
what I just said.
Oh, that's what you. Oh, I didn't hear you say you split it up completely. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I wonder,
would
like
work.
it.
But I could see doing the men's Rumble with the women's title match and the women's Rumble with the men's title match.
Yeah. Okay. See, I was just wondering. I wonder if they split it, if they would see a big difference in viewership night to night if they had one women's and one men. I hope they wouldn't, but you never.
I don't think they care. I don't think they care with it being on Peacock so much as the
That's
viewership
true.
as they are selling every ticket in the building 2 nights in a row.
Exactly.
I don't know. It might. I think it would give the women their shine a little bit more, just to give them their own night.
They already
Right.
steal the show.
But
Right.
that's true.
I mean, as good as this card is, and as good as Gunther and Priest was, I sat here and told you right up front that Liv and Rhea were my favorite match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
It's always a lot of screaming in that women's Royal Rumble.
So overall, I gave the whole presentation 4 jars. Solid performance.
Yeah.
Loved it, loved it, loved it.
Yeah, it was very good.
The only thing it was missing is a Vince intro. It's summertime and the living is anything but easy. What?
Awkward silence.
Well, I was waiting on you. I thought you were
I
getting
was
ready
going to
to
say,
switch something. I thought you were going to do a tag belt or a belt commercial or something.
I could, but instead, how about
It's time for Amy's trivia. Think you have the facts? Let's play and see.
all righty, we are going to do a little SummerSlam location trivia. All
All
right.
right.
Oh God.
How
Let's do
many
this.
years? How many years has SummerSlam been held at Madison Square Garden? We got
Hang on,
3.
time out. Heather Whitley makes a good point. The one thing I didn't like about Priest is watching the replay mid-match. I'm a huge You didn't like that, Heather? I thought you were saying that you did. I thought it was cool that we finally had somebody that was smart enough to watch the monitor and see the screw-in they just got.
Yeah, I did too. I kind of like. I noticed that too.
But
I was
Heather
like,
said she
that's
didn't like it.
new. I like
Okay.
it.
You tell us.
All right, let's go back again.
How many years has SummerSlam been held at Madison Square Gardens? Is it 3, 5, 7, or 9?
It ain't
Tim-
9.
Tim Robinson came through like that avatar, Tim. Tim Robinson came through with a 3, and I'm going to agree with him.
I'm going to say, yeah, I agree too, even though I want to say 5.
It's a smart thing you agreed with, Tim, because it was 3. So the first one was held in 1988 there, then 1991, and the last one that's been there was in 1998.
Oh,
All
that was
right.
the Highway to Hell. I remember that one.
Mm.
1998.
Next question. Oh, sorry. Yes, 3. Cleveland, Ohio has been the home of 2 SummerSlams, 2024 and what other year? Was it 96, 2000, 2004, or 2010?
I'm going to go 2010 because I feel like they would have kissed the Miz's rear pretty royally for that.
96 SummerSlam would have been Vader and Shawn Michaels. But I think it's that one.
Which one did you say, Justin?
96.
And Dave, what'd you say? 2001?
2010.
It was 1996. Very good. It was the main event was Shawn Michaels versus Vader, with Shawn Michaels winning.
That was the match when Shawn got mad at Vader and called him a fat, lazy piece of shit in the middle of the ring and kicked him in the head.
Sorry.
little more context to that match.
Thank you.
No, sorry. I have some work stuff going on, so I'm sorry, I'm distracted. All right, next question.
Was it in the Gund Arena?
It
Yeah, I
was
think
in the
so.
Gund
Yeah.
Arena. It was. Yes, it was.
The home of Mark Price, baby. And Brad Daugherty.
Who are those people? Just
They
because
played for the
I don't-
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, because I don't know. So, how many times has SummerSlam been held in the South? And when I say the South,
I was going to say, what constitutes this? Are we talking about the Civil War South?
It was in
Yes,
South. It was in South Ohio this year.
So West Virginia is not the South, because we all remember that SummerSlam in Charleston, West Virginia.
Exactly. No. If
okay.
there had been one, I probably would have counted it. But the South, and like you said, we know what the South is.
You're talking about the Mason-Dixon line.
Civil War South. I like that.
Yes,
That's what I'm talking about. How many times has SummerSlam been held in the South?
Are we talking about South LA, Efren? Was the
0, 1, 3, or 5? Listen to my accent and let me tell you if I think Los Angeles is the South. So
I'm going to go with 1.
All right, let me think about this. There has to be, so Texas is the South, right? I think there surely was one in Texas somewhere.
I don't remember one being in Texas.
I don't either. I keep thinking
Survivor Series.
San Antonio is like the Rumble.
Yeah, San Antonio's had 2 Rumbles. Dallas had a Survivor Series.
There's never been a SummerSlam in Texas.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just let you know. I would have counted them probably.
Right. Oh God! So there was one in Nashville, Tennessee. I know that because I was there. And so I'm trying to think of anywhere else. That's what I'm thinking. Tim Robinson, Florida. I'm gonna say 3.
Dave. 0, 1, 3, or 5.
I'd already said 1, so I'm not gonna back out. But I think 3's right.
It is 3. Do you all want to take a wild guess? Would you like to get? Okay, you've already named 2. Nashville, obviously.
Okay.
Florida. It was in Orlando. It was actually the Thunderdome, so that it wasn't even supposed to be there. It was.
Would Atlanta be one?
Nope.
Charlotte.
You are in the right vicinity, but it wasn't Charlotte.
Greensboro.
Nope.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
It was Raleigh, North Carolina. It was
about
not
that?
in. It was not
Home of
in
the Wolf
Florida.
Pack.
Yeah, SummerSlam has not been in Florida. Exactly. So Andrew, as we know, the wrestling whiz, it was in Raleigh, North Carolina in 2000. It was in Orlando, Florida, 2020, again because of COVID, and it was in Nashville in 2022.
He is the Wiz, and no one beats him. No one beats him.
That's right. That is correct.
Yeah. 1990 SummerSlam was in the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
It's really interesting how it's just right in that little coastal area. Very, very rare. There's a couple times it was in Phoenix, maybe once in Nevada, but
You would think there'd be one in Baltimore.
Didn't they do SummerSlam over in England? At Wembley?
How about we go to the next question and then you can answer.
Does Washington D.C. Now Washington D.C. does not qualify as the South.
But this just goes to show you that I don't read these ahead of time.
I would
Okay.
not have qualified Washington, D.C. as the South.
Okay.
I don't know.
How many times has SummerSlam been held outside of the USA? 1,
Ooh.
2, 3, 4.
Well, obviously, there's the 1992 SummerSlam where the greatest wrestler of all time uh, gave up his
Shawn Michaels won.
Intercontinental belt.
Oh,
That's one. So, was there any more? I think one.
I think one.
It was actually 3.
Really?
Oh, there was something in like Toronto or something, wasn't there?
It was 2 of them were have been in Toronto. So again, as you said, London in 1992.
I don't
They
think
went-
of Canada as outside of the country.
Especially Toronto. It's like a 2-hour drive from
Right.
Buffalo.
Well, like I said, held outside of the USA. They do not qualify as being
All right.
inside. But they had it was held in Toronto in 2004 and then again in 2019. So that is not my question. No. I was going to say.
Uh-oh.
How many
Come on,
times
Efren.
how many times has SummerSlam been held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles?
In South Los Angeles.
Yes, this is where you want to call
Just your
South.
choices. Just your choices are more than I would have originally guessed.
I know. I can't believe there's been at least 6 SummerSlams at the Staples Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
go 6.
insane. I
6,
wouldn't even
7,
think that.
8, or 9.
How old is that building? Like 20 years old?
No, it's older than that.
I know because I think of that it replaced the Forum, and they couldn't have been there that long, but I guess they have because I'm old.
Huh. I got to say 6. If it's more than that, then that's insane.
Dave, what do you say?
I said 6.
All right.
I said
You all-
6.
You are correct. And what's really interesting about that is that it was 6 years in a row. From 2009 to 2014, SummerSlam was held at the Staples Center.
That's why. Okay. I was going to say,
And
how they.
then they pivoted and they did like 5 times at the Barclays Center in New York. So it's just really so I thought that was a weird.
Yeah, because that was
I think it
almost
was
like
4
a
times.
that was almost like a forever home for it there for a while because they were doing the whole weekend.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, 2009 to 2014, SummerSlam was held in the Staples Center.
Okay.
All right, now next questions we have are fill in the blank.
All years that I was not watching. That's probably why I don't remember all that.
Yeah, really. Only one SummerSlam has not been held during the month of August.
Ooh,
What year was SummerSlam held in July?
yeah. You're not going to give us choices?
No, this is fill in the blank.
This is some BS.
Yeah.
I wanted some choices on this one.
I cannot wait to tell you what it is.
What was the first
Justin.
year they did SummerSlam?
Like 88. Macho Man and Zeus, right? Against Hogan.
No, that
No.
wasn't the first.
I'm going
one.
with Gerard.
That
It was
the
last
second
year.
one, I think.
Second one.
2023.
Only one has not been held.
No, 2 years ago, 2022. 2022 in Nashville. Because it was the same weekend as Ric Flair's last match.
Okay.
Didn't you attend that one, Justin?
I did. I did. Let's go with that one.
Dave, that is correct.
2022.
It was July 30th, 2022 is when SummerSlam was held in Nashville. But that's pretty impressive. All the other ones have been in August. And I'm not really even for sure exactly why. That one, I mean, it was the 30th. It wasn't like it was, July 10th that they did it. But all the other ones, and I think there's been 36 of them. And they've all been in August, except for that one. That was so funny. All right. Oh, the bonus was.
I didn't remember because I was getting ready.
The bonus was, where was that SummerSlam held? And so You
We
can go
got
ahead
that.
and do the next one, and we
It was
already
in
know
that
that's
crappy
Nashville.
stadium in Nashville.
The Villa de Nash,
Oh,
where I got some Nashville hot chicken, and after I ate about half of one piece, I told her, could she get me a box? And I took it to my car and finished eating it where I could wipe my head with a towel. And I felt embarrassed to eat it in public.
that's so funny.
The only thing I hate about them tearing that stadium down to build a new one is because I was hoping it was going to burn down.
Oh,
Hmm.
hey, they're going to build it though, so Nashville can host WrestleMania
Good for
in
them.
2027. It's already been
They're gonna
inked.
are they putting a roof on it?
I do not know. I do not know.
If it's not domed in, I'm never going to it.
Why?
Because they screwed me on the George Strait concert.
Oh,
They made George leave after 12 songs
oh,
because Taylor Swift made them stay till 3:00 in the morning. They weren't going to do that again.
oh. Well, shouldn't your problem be with Taylor Swift and not?
No, it's Nissan Stadium that pulled the plug on it. I have a problem with them.
Okay. Well, when I talk to him this weekend, I'll make sure that I relay that.
Yeah, do that.
I
That was
will.
also the weekend I met Bret Hart for the first and only time. That was a fun weekend.
It was, and I'm telling
Dave
you,
got to do his little thing at the end.
heck yeah. If any of our friends out there ever go to a wrestling event, you need to do the Sweet Life with FFP. That is the way to go. The bathroom is right there. They have food. It's air conditioned. Great time with your
Other
friend.
than there may be a
Perfect.
spotlight in your eyes the entire time.
That was
Other than that.
unfortunate, but yes, definitely. All right, last question, fill in the blank. Where was the 2020 Summer Slam supposed to be held before it was changed to the Thunderdome due
Thunderdome.
to COVID? So that one that we have in the
Charleston, West
South,
Virginia.
The Barclays
no,
Center. The
the
Barclays
one,
Center.
it was not the Barclays Center. But the one
Oh,
we did have, the one and we did have in Florida was really by fluke because
I'm with Efren. The South. That's my answer.
yeah, Tampa.
it was not
No.
in it was not supposed to be in the South or Texas.
Oh. How about
Los Angeles.
South
It's
Los Angeles?
South Los
East
Angeles.
LA.
East LA. No, it was not supposed to be in California or New
Oh,
York.
Vegas.
No.
I feel like
Oklahoma City.
Minneapolis.
I will say
Booger Hollow, Arkansas.
yes. Booger
Efren's
Hollow
right.
had it.
Southeast LA.
Southeast. Actually, there is somebody right in the chat.
Oh, Boston.
It was supposed to be in Boston at
It was
the
supposed to
TD
be in
Garden.
Boston.
Boston.
Hell.
And they had to pull the plug because that darn COVID.
Yeah.
Next year, it's at Waterloo, Iowa, during the
In the
George
cornfield.
Thragos
The Field of Dreams.
New Thez Wrestling Hall of Fame. I thought that was kind of fun. I like doing that. So hopefully you all enjoyed it and maybe learned a little bit. And
Learned a little bit about the slamming of the summer
that's right.
and where they took place.
Well, we
And
just
that
immediately wanted to crawl Amy's ass about her about her just making us fill in the blank. And and then I realized that one I should have came to me quicker.
Yes, that's right.
my favorite is the fact that Justin's like, let me see.
I
And
don't
I'm like,
remember when the hell I went to that 2 years ago.
I'm like, we were literally there, Justin. You don't remember we were there.
I don't know what day it is right now.
That's probably true. I don't know if I would have remembered it. It
Well,
did help that it was Ric Flair's. It was all of that was all at the same time. But
Gerard says Fenway Park needs a SummerSlam. I don't know, Gerard. I don't think they could sell enough tickets there. It's pretty small. What, about 30,000 maybe?
How many you could put on the
you
field,
don't think
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
SummerSlam is only in
They only sold-
NFL stadiums?
I mean, they only sold
Fenway Park's
57,000
baseball,
for
right?
that wasn't a
Just
sellout
making
for
sure.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't think so?
No.
But I want to tell you,
38,000 in the
How many
stands,
can that
Gerard
stand
says.
hold?
yeah, you could probably get another 10,000 on the field.
It would be cool having fans up on top of the Green Monster during that.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I don't like the Intercontinental title. I think it's hot garbage. It needs to be repaired. It needs to be replaced.
Yes.
And if WWE, you're listening, may I recommend to you that you go to Big Time Belts. Big Time Belts, Facebook.com. Join the group. High quality, low prices. This beautiful custom North American in the spirit of the good Intercontinental title was made by Big Time Belts. The HCM American champion went to Big Time Belts. Look at that beautiful red leather. Got that tip on the end. Those American flags waving. The Arkansas Wrestling Association's openweight champion struts his ass around Arkansas with a Big Time belt. Again, we got that red leather. Look at the paint. Look how that belt pops with the white backgrounds. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you can love it too if you go to Big Time Belts. The Summit Wrestling Association's crown champion, he's parading around the ring with a Big Time belt. Russell Chew, the Hair Guru King.
We looked him up, didn't we? Last
yeah,
time?
he's living large. He's living large in Louisiana.
Heck
with
yeah.
a belt from Big Time Belts. The custom work. Look at that custom art on there. It's so good. Tim Robinson's Junior Heavyweight Championship, AMW Junior Heavyweight Championship, came from Big Time Belts. All of Tim's belt dreams are coming true over at Big Time Belts. He got his world belt. He got his
pretty belt there, Tim.
He got his world belt. He got his junior heavyweight belt. He got his tag belt, and I cannot wait to see what he comes up with on the women's belt.
When is that going to be ready, Tim? You have to tell us when are you expecting your women's belt?
The countdown is on. The countdown is on. September 7th. This couple's going to get married. I like how on one of them it's Mr. and Mrs., and then on the other one it's Mrs. and Mr. So if you're getting married, getting engaged, getting divorced, we can make you a divorce belt.
Pass it around to your friends who all get no.
She got the house. She got the house, and I got happiness in this belt from Big Time Belts.
Tim says
there's the AMW Tag Team Champion. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful belt. And if you'd like a beautiful, beautiful belt too, go to Facebook.com. Join the Big Time Belts group. Reach out to Muhammad Zubair. Tell him your belt dreams. He'll make them come true with high quality, low prices. And we want to thank Big Time Belts for sponsoring our show.
Definitely.
Did you get to see, very nice. Dave, we talked about last week. Did you get to see the Pete Rose documentary yet?
I did not.
Okay.
I watched Batman the Cape Crusader this week. And then I watched and I've been watching the Olympics.
Well, how could you
Tip's been
how could you take your eyes off the pole vault there?
Well, Tip's been watching the Olympics, and if I want to be around Tip, then I got to watch the Olympics too.
It's really good. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the Olympics. I've learned some things that I didn't, like I said, that speed climbing this morning. That was, I mean, I think I was a few minutes late to work because I was like, oh, I watched that too long this morning because I was just mesmerized by it. But yeah, that's worth the belt. Whatever.
I can get behind that.
You can pick your reason, top 10 of why you want a belt. I think it'll be cool. Definitely. What's been your favorite thing watching of the Olympics?
The number one reason you should have a belt is because Pondwater has 76 of them, and he just looks so damn happy all the time. Willie Buck wants to know, Pondwater Dave, are you going to any wrestling shows this weekend? I am not. I will be at in Summerall, Mississippi, August 24th for Legacy Championship Wrestling. Looking forward to getting back in the ring. I'm still not cleared, but I'm working. So if I can sling potato chips, I can get in the ring. I may. It's an old school wrestling promotion, so I may be doing my best Bronco Lubitsch.
counting it from the top rope. Just got your hand on the rope, being like 1, 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the foot tap. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, really.
No, but seriously, I'm gonna be
I
okay.
like
I'm
that.
excited. I'm excited to get back. And then I'll be back next month in West Monroe for Bayou Independent Wrestling.
Now
So
don't get I'm glad you're back, but don't get too excited and hurt yourself. Like, don't
Mm.
try to, like, pop over the top rope like you did in the
no, 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 no,
intro,
no. We're acting all right.
okay?
Last week we had Hot Amy, and this week Mom Amy returns by telling Dave to
Yeah, really.
take it easy over there.
Take it
But I've
easy.
but I've
Have
been
y'all
out of the ring
started
too
back yet,
long.
Justin?
I start Monday, so this is my last week of freedom.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back in the ring. I've had to cancel a few shows. I've missed some really good opportunities. Not being able to. It, I'm not bouncing back from this knee injury as fast as I thought I would have. Like the doctor initially told me 3 to 6 weeks, and I'm like, I'll be
Mhm.
back in 2. And can't tell you. I mean, it wasn't 2, that's for sure, and it's been 6, and I've got 8. I mean, I'm going for 8. I'm going for 8 more physical therapies. I'm starting back tomorrow night for just um, I'm back on another. I
Physical
got
therapies,
another round of anti-inflammatories, but I'm
really?
working and I'm doing more than I'm supposed to. So it's
Mm.
just that I don't, I'm at that age there. I don't heal as fast as I used to.
Well, and physical therapy is helping, right?
Yeah, that's why I was. I mean,
Good.
I've never been. I've always hated going physical therapy because I always felt like it was a money deal. But
Mhm.
I went to physical therapy with a good attitude after this surgery, and I felt like it did a lot of good. And when he wanted me to continue, I'm 100% on board with it because I need to get the strength back, and that leg is not as strong as it was, and but
Sure.
we're going to get it back to 100%.
Awesome. Good deal.
He'll be back out on the soccer field here before you know it, running around out there.
Nah,
We just
that'll
want
get
him
you hurt.
I was gonna say, we just want, you to be able to bounce around the ring like you did.
Gerard's right.
Ah.
Being in the ring has a strange way of curing that what ails you. That adrenaline, that you don't feel anything when the adrenaline's flowing.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's always the ride home when it wears off.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking, oh, maybe a little bit too much. Well, we're excited about that date. Or Tim wants to know about the dates for West Monroe because he thinks he can come. Did you see that, Dave?
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Y'all talk for a minute and I'll find out for him.
All righty. So I have actually, my son Aaron starts school on Thursday. So our schools are all very much getting ready, geared up. PD's already done, professional development's already done. Now everybody's trying to get their rooms ready and all that good stuff. And I ran around today doing training to staff. So I've got a busy next couple of weeks. And then Aaron starts playing football. There's going to be some days where you all are not going to see me on the Pondwater Dave show. I'm going to be cheering on number 55 in September. So
Well,
we'll just have to see how that goes.
I need to cheer on my granddaughter, so we may be we may be bouncing the show around a little bit.
What is
But
she?
we're
Basketball, but softball. What is she doing?
softball and soccer.
Soccer. She's still. I mean,
But
soccer's still going on. Is what I
basketball's coming
mean.
too.
Yeah, I thought she was a multi-sport
But to
child.
answer Tim's question, Saturday, September 14th at the West Monroe Convention Center, Bayou Independent Wrestling returns with a Southern title match. Bam Bam Malone is defending against the former champion, who's finally getting his rematch, Angel Camacho, the Puerto Rican
Ooh.
juggernaut. And our former guest, Cassandra Golden, will be defending her women's title against Ray Lynn. And if Ray Lynn from WoW Wrestling.
I feel like I've heard that name.
She wrestles.
Ray Lynn.
I'm trying to think what she wrestles as on WoW. I don't know
That's
what her name
okay.
on. They told me, and
Hol
I can't.
Hollywood,
No, it's not Hollywood.
no,
Holly,
I'm saying she's done some shows at WoW, and I'm wondering if maybe she wrestled her. Is that why I'm trying to think of why have I heard this name before? Sorry. Kind of talking to myself, trying to work that out.
But she's very, very good. I got to work with her in Arkansas. Very
Mhm.
impressed. Very, very impressed with her.
Cool.
You know, I tell you, things stand out more than others, and her crowd work is second to none. Her crowd work is incredible. I mean, she had that crowd wanting to kill her.
Oh, so she's a heel. Well, that makes sense. So Cassandra's.
Oh yeah, she's a heel.
what we got next week, Dave?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We'll be here.
Well, and don't forget to check out the Ram Network, where you will see a whole cast of characters with a capital C, including Timmy C.
Yeah, we just dropped a new episode of World Class Flashback. It's from the Fair Park Coliseum in Dallas,
Mhm.
Texas, from April 1st, 1983. We have the main event that night is Terry Gordy and David Von Erich in a handcuff match. This is the
Oh,
famous match that right before they got started, that Terry Gordy jumped down and knocked that fellow about 3 rows back,
yeah.
and he
What
and he
was
didn't
he?
even drop it, and he didn't even drop his cigarette.
He was mouthing, right? Was the
Yeah,
fan mouthing to
yeah.
Terry Gordy?
Well, he came underneath the security rail was just a rope, and
Yeah.
he came under the rope, and when he did, Gordy jumped down off the ring and sent him
took
flying.
took care of
And I
business.
was one section over when he did that, and I never messed with Terry Gordy after that. Never.
As if you were thinking about it before.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that guy
Showed you not to.
showed me what not to do in wrestling
Yeah,
matches.
because you were right there. You're getting
So I
ready
just
to let
lowered my
Terry
sights down
have it.
because I always thought I could kind of take Buddy Roberts, but I knew I wasn't going to take Terry Gordy. That's for sure.
And I know
So
FFP dropped today. They look back of, was it July
1974.
1974, but I think it was July. It was kind of interesting. They were talking a lot about Watergate. They talked about some different movies and music that was popular. They talked about the movie. Oh crap! Is it Standing Tall? That doesn't sound right.
Walking Tall.
Walking Tall. Thank you.
About Buford
They
Pussler.
Yes, they talked about him
I went and saw that in the theater.
in 1974.
Yeah, I did.
Awesome. And apparently there was like, I mean,
I
people
went
were
and saw all the
enamored with
Walking
him.
Tall movies.
That's what I was gonna say. Apparently they were all
They cut
Oh,
off
it
his
was-
arms. They cut off his legs. They busted his head. Now he's back, and he's madder than hell.
right. He was
Uh,
6'6". I don't know why that just and he died young. He was in his 30s when he died.
I
Which is
think
kind
that
of
Buford Pussler was the first person I ever saw in a body cast. That they had him in a body cast on the movie.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to check this
He was
out.
in his 30s when he died because he got murdered, right?
Well, it was a one-car accident. It was a automobile accident.
Yeah,
There's
but they did
obviously
something to.
yeah, there's some suspicions there because his wife
You
got
know he
killed.
wrestled.
She got
Yes.
killed, yeah.
Yes.
That's Buford Pussler as a wrestler.
Buford the Bruiser, I think. I think that's what they said he was. But yeah, she got killed in an ambush. It was supposed to be for him, and they ended up killing her. I know. I want to go back and learn some more about this. I thought
Shout
that
out
was
to the
interesting.
FFP for providing those graphics.
I was gonna say you had this ready to roll.
We
Where'd
use
you
the
pull
same.
those
We
up?
use the same StreamYard. I got all their stuff here.
Oh, cool. Well, like I said, it was really good. Um, I've learned a lot. TNA Top 10, they did their top listings, rankings for the ACC, and I learned a lot about that.
Yeah,
I don't know a
the
whole
minor
lot.
leagues, the minor leagues of college football.
Yeah. And
Because all
network.
Yeah.
all I could think of, was they were talking about, and I enjoyed Dave and the HSV on there. They were
I was
talking
gonna say,
about
ain't
all
that
these
where
schools in
Florida
the
State
ACC,
plays?
and you knew that Florida State was going to be the one they put over the hardest. But I'm thinking, not the SEC, not the SEC. Does anything in college football matter outside of the SEC?
I mean,
Ohio
I don't think
State.
so, but
And
Michigan won the whole damn thing last year. I don't know.
yeah,
but I thought it was interesting. They were talking about how Notre Dame, again, I didn't know this, but Notre Dame is not really
Hey.
in the conference
yeah,
for
Joe Don
football.
Baker. Give me Joe Don Baker all day, every day with that stick. Joe Don Baker played Buford Puzzler in the movies.
In 1974.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I want to see that movie. But yeah, so they have done some they again, they're very informative on top 10 when they're doing the rankings. They talk about the different teams. I am absolutely I just mesmerized when I'm listening to it because they know players, they know past coaches, they know all this stuff. And I just think it's really fun to listen to. So I learned a lot about the ACC. And I don't know who they're doing next week, but I would definitely
I did.
make sure.
Harry just
Oh,
told us in the chat it'll be Big Ten preview. The
oh,
Buckeyes of the Ohio State and the Wolverines of Michigan, as I just mentioned,
oh,
along with some
awesome.
others. So yeah.
So yeah,
Nebraska, of course, will be involved. So Andrew will talk about Nebraska for an hour.
okay, so
Yeah,
Nebraska's in the top or in the
in the
Big
Big Ten.
10.
Yeah.
Gotcha. See? It's
Well,
very informative. I thoroughly enjoy it and suggest you go jump on and listen to it.
and
You wouldn't know Nebraska's in the Big Ten because they're never in the news. So, but yes, they are in it actually.
I just thought that Nebraska must have been their own like
They
superstar
should be in
because I
there
hear
as a
about I hear about touchdown Timmy or Tommy or whatever. I don't know the true freshman. Andrew talks a lot about him.
well,
So I'm sure he's going to tell me though. Just lost the
so
left tackle today. I don't know what that means.
well, head over to patreon.com/Ram Network. It's $10 a month. We'll provide all kinds of bonus content. Timmy C and TJ just dropped Memphis Rock and Wrestling, where they did a watch along with a VHS tape from 1987 Memphis that had many of the talents in the past. We had Terry T Weave sat down with Dave in the HSV, and they did Bash to the Beach, July 9th, 2000, from the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, for the second episode of I Was There.
Terry said that also they dropped the top 10 American Olympians today. That's an interesting topic. Who would you guys throw out some names for the top 10?
Mary Lou Retton.
Mary Lou Retton, absolutely. I think she has to be on
Christy
that list.
Yamaguchi.
Christy Yamaguchi. Okay. What about what's her name? Bruce Jenner?
Yeah.
I think what's her name? Bruce.
George Foreman, Muhammad Ali.
I don't really count those like LeBron James, and I don't know. They were famous before you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like people that made their names
Carl Lewis
through the Olympics.
I think
Carl Lewis,
Michael Phelps,
yeah,
Jesse Owens.
You know who I remember?
Missy
Terry
Owens.
Strug and Dominique Muciano and that whole team in '96. Remember that?
Yes.
Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was a runner.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely
Jesse Owens.
Him. I think FloJo. Like if I think about people who made you
FloJo for sure
the
too.
Olympics,
Dan Gable.
I guess. Dan Gable. Look at that. That's a great name. I think Simone Biles, she has really had quite the Olympics.
Yes.
That one wrestler got big for what? Remember Rulon or whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Rulon Gardner.
Yeah.
I loved Mary Lou Retton, Thunder Thighs. Lord have mercy.
I think Mary Lou is one of those that when you think Olympics, I think she's one of those just because of the star that they
Oh,
put on her at as
Well,
gymnastics
I
and
think
taking
because
on the
we're
Russians and
let's don't forget Kurt Angle. He did a little something
well, I
with a
know I was
broken
going to mention
freaking
that.
neck.
exactly.
I think like Mary Lou, where I was born in '85, she was a little bit like before my time, but like
Hmm.
'96, that was big. I when that gymnastic team won and Carrie Strug had that hurt ankle and she stuck the landing
Hmm.
there at the end and they
Yeah.
Yes,
won. That was a pretty cool moment, I thought.
definitely. Yeah,
Did y'all
definitely.
say
I think
Jackie
that
Joyner Kersey?
I said FloJo, but yes, definitely
Yeah.
her. Again, just that. But I think, like you said, to me, Jesse Owens, like even though I don't know how many medals he won, I mean, there's probably more people that have won more medals. Just that's an iconic. I mean, that was in the third. Like
Yeah.
that was an iconic situation that he was in and prevailed in, and you know, he's 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 a good let's see. I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Andrew said half of them that we've mentioned did not make the list. So it
Well,
would be really important for you to go over there and listen and see
yeah.
which half made the list. Yeah, 4 goals against Hitler's runners in Nazi Germany, 1936. I mean,
Hmm.
you know,
That was just so cool to see a black guy on Hitler's podium there in Germany in '36. So that image will always be, I think the one that's probably one of the most remembered in Olympic history.
Oh,
definitely.
did y'all mention Mark Spitz?
Mark
No.
Spitz and Greg Louganis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg Louganis. I mean, again, that was pretty uh he's the one that did he hit his head at the
Yes, he
Olympics?
did.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I figured it would make sense if it was at the Olympics, but yeah. And Spitz, he was a swimmer, right?
Yes, he was.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was on a very I remember seeing my parents had a tabletop book of Life magazine covers,
Mm.
and he was on the cover of one of them, and the way that he was swimming and the way the water was the picture of the water with half of his face in the water.
Hmm.
It's really
Well,
I mean, if I'm remembering it 50 years ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
you might
Cool.
say it's too soon, Andrew, but I think the pole vaulter from France should make this list. But that's just me.
So yeah, Spitz had 7 gold medals, and that was probably like a goal that people probably didn't think could be replicated. And now you have Michael Phelps, which has like 20 something.
Look
I
at
mean, it's just
Ledecky. Look at Ledecky.
that's very true too. It's
Didn't Ledecky just set the record for the most medals from an Olympic performer?
She did something.
for
I'm
a
not sure
for a
exactly what it
woman
was.
or just in general.
In general.
I don't know. I mean, go to TNA Top 10 and
TNA
listen,
Top 10, and they'll figure it all out for you.
and they'll tell you everything you need to know, and
We
then
are
come
not
back
the
and tell
Olympic
us.
headquarters here, that's for
No.
sure.
4 times 800-meter winner. That's Ledecky. So she's
Okay.
won that event 4 times, which is very impressive. Yes. Oh yeah, they're the volleyball people. Carrie Walsh and Misty May. Willie Buck's talking about. They play beach volleyball, right?
Big fan
I
of
wonder
big
how
fan
many.
of beach volleyball.
I
Yeah.
bet you are.
And I am a big fan of men's diving
I bet.
and
I
pole
can
vaulting
imagine.
now. All
And
Be a big fan of taking us home.
right.
pole
Well, thank
vaulting
you all.
now.
Thank you all for joining us in the chat like you do each week. We really appreciate it. So we will see you next week for the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn, and for the Great Pondwater Day. My name is Justin Davis saying please take care of yourself and each other. So long, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good night.